Let's talk about these three major arguments. So bear with me, these are arguments. Arguments are syllogisms, sets of reasons with a conclusion. Each one of these arguments is sound and logical. Whether you believe it or not is another question, but it is sound and logical. Let's do the first. It's called the Kalam cosmological argument. Kalam in Arabic means the spoken word. It's actually derived by a philosopher named Thomas Aquinas in the 14th century. Later on, it was picked up by an Islamic philosopher who made it more clear, and recently articulated by Bill Craig, who's been speaking around the world on it. It actually goes like this. Whatever begins to exist has a cause. The universe began to exist. Therefore, the universe has a cause. It's a very simple logistic argument. Let's break it down. How do I know that this cause is God? Well, first I need to establish that the universe was caused. My recommendation is you look into scientific world, specifically in two particular fields. Cosmology, and of course you can look at areas like paleontology as well. But the redshift spectrum and the Doppler effect. The redshift spectrum and the Doppler effect show us evidence that the universe is expanding like a balloon. At one point, everything was together, then it's slowly moving apart. At one point, everything started approximately 14 billion years ago in what we call the singularity, where space, time, matter all started in an instant. All the greatest cosmologists of today have argued and articulated this in articulate fashions. Arvin Bohr, Alvin Guth, and Alexander Van Eyckman have argued that. Well, so did Stephen Hawking before he passed as well, that there was a point in space and time where everything began. Even time began at that point. The book of Genesis says in Genesis chapter 1, verse 1, in the beginning God created the heavens and the earth. What's fascinating about that very verse is you have all of complexity of nature in that one verse. God, person, in the beginning, time, person, God, created, action, the heavens, space, and the earth, nature, matter. Boom, right there. And you have the personage of the soul. One of my favorite recent films is the the Gauntlet movie by the Avengers. Have you seen that? The Avengers film that came out last year? In there, the character, the villain, Thanos, gathers this gauntlet where he encapsulates all the major stones that encompass the major elements of the universe. If you take that and analyze that, superhero fans, look at Genesis chapter 1 and analyze that with that. It's in mythology, it's in the comic book world, it's in all the major areas of history, whether you're talking about any legend, connects back to Genesis in one form or another.